मैं तो NADI में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, porn viewing debate heats up in Parliament. Government says opposition has issues. And later on, Water Authority unsure when water will return to normal.
From the studios of FBC SUVA, Jackie Spade.
Despite all three Fijian IP providers denying they gave any information to the opposition, TABUYA still insists one of them gave her statistics about the use of pornography in Fiji. However, in her end-of-the-week parliamentary statement today, TABUYA contradicted herself by revealing for the first time that the statistics she had been quoting all week was in fact from a pornography consumption study in America. Koroi Tandulala reports.
It's this American pornography consumption report that LYNDA has been flouting as Fijian pornography statistics all week.
The average age of first internet exposure to pornography is 11, and this age is getting younger and younger all the time. 90% of 8 to 16-year-olds who were viewing porn online admitted that it was done during homework time.
However, TABUYA revealed this in Parliament only when Vodafone, Digicel and Telecom Fiji denied giving her any information about the use of online porn in Fiji.
Nor have they disclosed any statistics to her or anyone else. In fact, Honourable Speaker, the three telcos reaffirmed this position on mainstream media yesterday.
Earlier in the week, TABUYA had claimed many Fijian porn statistics, adding the highest viewing time for pornography in Fiji is on Sunday mornings by men.
I'm not at liberty to reveal my source because I received that information on that condition that it would be kept confidential, and I'd like to honor that.
The Minister for Women is urging TABUYA to get back to reality.
In the meantime, I ask she leave her fake sources in LYNDA land where facts don't matter and coronavirus blows in the southeast trade winds. Please join us back in reality where this side of the house is striving to make real positive progress for the women and children in this country.
Minister Meriseni Vuniwanga says SODELPA has an appalling record for fighting for victims of domestic violence, and instead of peddling false information, they should speak out against the like of SODELPA MP Moses Mbulitavu, who has made racist and backward claims about victims of domestic abuse in Fiji. Vuniwanga says porn and abuse in Fiji can best be fought by parents, instilling good values in children and teaching our sons to respect girls, to see them as equals and to support their dreams. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
At the end of the first week of Parliament sitting for the year, a lot has transpired with how the opposition have reacted to decisions made this week. Attorney General Aya Said Qayyum has expressed that this week has been very interesting in respect of how the members of the opposition have been very economical with the truth. Lena Rees reports.
The Attorney General says this week has been a repeat and the opposition clearly has issues.
I think it's critically important for the Fijian people to know that in the past 1 week, it would appear that the opposition is actually, plenty. The opposition has got some issues. They either probably have internal issues or they probably are simply just scouring around for new ideas.
We sort out internally.
Rambuka stresses that he would not expect to get that sort of comment from the highest legal officer in the land.
For him to say that, perhaps it's a height of disrespect. I can put it that way.
And that is unfortunately a problem which has meant that the quality of intellectual input, the quality of debate, the standard of argument, the standard of ideas has been quite abysmal from the opposition side.
Parliament has adjourned to the 16th of next month. Lena Rees, FBC News.
The National Federation Party boycotted Parliament in the last 4 days due to the non-response from the Speaker regarding their two motions. NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad says their first motion was to call for a bipartisan committee to inquire into reforms in the education sector carried out since 2014. The second is for an inquiry into the public-private partnership of Lautoka and Ba hospitals. However, the NFP claims the Speaker's office and the Acting Secretary-General rejected both the motions. Professor Prasad says their questions regarding the Fiji Sugar Corporation's dealings was also ruled out.
Government puts in a lot of money, taxpayers' funds into FSC. Now, if the opposition is asking a question on FSC, it's legitimate. It's a taxpayers' money which is going to fund the Fiji Sugar Corporation.
Professor Prasad also highlighted that the National Federation Party is not in Parliament about money, as they work for the benefit of every Fijian.
For us, it's not about money. It's a matter of principle. It's a matter of listening to the people. It's a matter of responding to the people's concern and dealing with those.
The Water Authority is unable to confirm at this stage when water will be normalised in the affected areas of the Central Division. A recent maintenance work carried out by the authority is still affecting at least 10% of the people, which includes thousands of Fijians between the SUVA and Nausori corridor. The authority explains people are still experiencing intermittent supply because they are still trying to achieve the standard water levels in all reservoirs connected to the main site, which underwent maintenance.
The increasing demand and the lack of rain in recent weeks are two major reasons behind intermittent water supply.
What happened then was that we tried to fill it up over night time as much as we possibly can. Now, because of the hot weather, it's been unusually dry this last month initially, and we've had a higher consumption, so we've been unable to fill the reservoirs to the total satisfaction of ourselves. So some of the higher areas, including where I live, sometimes have without water and sometimes intermittent water.
Ahmedson explains in order to raise the water level at the reservoirs, the authority has to minimize the pressure during non-peak hours.
Some places by balancing, because the system's in series, we need to, during the night time, our staff have been working without 24/7 really during the night to balance. So we actually have water in the morning when people wake up and water when they come home in the afternoon. That's what we're trying to do.
Minister for Infrastructure Chone Usamate says he is aware of the situation and call on the authority to fix the problem.
I expect the CEO and the board to make sure that where there are issues, there is what is required, that information is made aware to them and they would address it as quickly as possible.
The Water Authority Chief Executive also says aging infrastructure and increase in population between the SUVA-Nausori corridor is also putting pressure on this system. Apeniso Wangirandobu, FBC News.
Indigenous languages matter for development, peace building and reconciliation. This was stressed by the Assistant Minister for Itaukei Affairs, Selai Andimaitonga, during the International Mother Language Day celebrations in SUVA today. She says various social and environmental problems that exist in society today can be mitigated through traditional knowledge and mother language.
Most of the ills in today's Fijian society is connected somehow to language and culture. In retrospect, the traditions of our forefathers came in built with ways that could alleviate climate change, domestic violence and abuse of women and children, poverty and physical malaise, now rampant in today's society.
Up ahead, local milk production does not meet demand. And processes involved to set up Youth Council explain. Details after the break.
Pula natango aprosa nangarse ngor kraki do television varong na radio Fijian nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fijian nandomo ibiti.
The connection and personal relationship that Israel and Fiji have is second to none. Speaking during the official welcome dinner of Israeli President Reuven Rivlin, President Chiochi Kondrote says the bond between the two countries will continue to grow. He says whether it's peacekeepers, students studying in Israel or Fijians visiting the Holy Land, the relationship will remain strong. President Kondrote says both Fiji and Israel's economies have grown and they have a place on the global stage.
So as we mark the many ways that Fiji's relationship has strengthened over the years, Your Excellency, I'm confident in saying that our ties have been made even stronger with your visit today. Thank you.
The local dairy industry is only producing 6 million litres of milk annually, falling short of over 58.5 million litres. The industry suffered significantly due to the bovine tuberculosis and brucellosis outbreak in the past 4 years, and now efforts are underway to increase production in the country. Praneet Prakash reports.
The Agriculture Ministry is expanding the dairy industry and identifying new cattle farmers
The production targets for these new promising farmers is an annual production of 1.5 million litres in addition to the existing milk they are producing. So, Mr. Speaker said, progressively, incrementally, we are raising milk production locally. Through right attitude, improvement management practices, better nutrition of the cattle and introducing new breed, there will be a positive trend, and as the industry grows, production will definitely will grow incrementally.
Dr. Reddy says milk production has improved following the restructure at the Fiji Dairy Limited a decade ago.
How the restructure has impacted on milk production. Has the milk production gone up, stabilized, or gone down?
The overall volume of milk production increased overall from 2018 to 2019 from 4.14 million litres to 4.18 million litres. The number of it's in millions. It's in millions. It's in millions. It's in millions. The number of cows milking in 2019 increased to 5,370 and increased by 20.6%.
He says prior to the restructure in 2010, the Fiji Dairy Limited was riddled with problems such as mismanagement, corruption, inefficiency, and outdated infrastructure and technology. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
An open and transparent process was followed in the establishment of the Fiji Youth Council. Youth and Sports Minister Parveen Kumar says the requirements included an existing set of achievements in the youth initiative. Kumar says the appointment of the members were done through an expression of interest in the newspaper and the ministry's website.
My ministry had applied best practice approach in a transparent manner in ensuring that we appointed the right fit youth leaders who match the requirements of the role to be the members of the new Fiji Youth Council.
And turning overseas, authorities in Germany are treating the fatal shooting of 9 people as a terror attack. The gunman, who German media have named TABUYA, is believed to have been motivated by far-right extremist ideas. And it's business time now with Koroy.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break, Fiji aims for top 50 ranking. And in growing Fiji, proposed NADI River project to help generate income. Stay with us.
My name is Neha and I'm from Karavi, and Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Ministry of Trade has embarked on an ambitious target to improve Fiji's ease of doing business ranking. There are plans to significantly improve Fiji's ranking from the current 102 in the world to top 50 in the next 5 years. Trade Minister Pramila Kumar, while responding to an oral question in Parliament today, highlighted that while the digital transformation is at the core of the ongoing reforms, improving business processes is critical.
The Cabinet last month approved a bold target of being ranked in the top 50 in terms of doing business by the year 2025. It now becomes the mandate of Ease of Doing Business Task Force to adhere their monitoring, supervisory and review role to ensure the targets are met. The task force will also articulate progress to World Bank Group through appropriate reporting mechanism.
Sadifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the money world.
Today, the Japanese yen was headed for its worst week in 2.5 years. Worries about the coronavirus spread in South Korea, Japan and Beijing drove funds from Asia to the towering US dollar. 2 days of heavy selling following weak domestic data and growing fears about the virus economic fallout has the yen at its lowest since last April and investors questioning its worth as a safe haven. It has lost 2% on the dollar since Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Aussie dollar is parked by an 11-year low and along with New Zealand's currency has shared 1.5% for the week. Both are down more than 5% for the year amid the exodus from export-exposed assets in favor of US dollars. There are a few announcements from the US, Britain and Europe in the weekend. We'll wait and see how the data will affect our Fiji dollar, if any at all. That's all for this week from HFC Bank. Have a blessed weekend.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning.
The Fijian dollar gained against all currencies today except the Japanese yen. Now, commodities were on the rise again. Crude oil increased slightly, closing at $53.56 per barrel. Gold was also up at $1,622 per ounce, and silver closed up at $18.43 per ounce. The Nadi River flood alleviation project is expected to cost over $400 million. Minister for Economy Ayasad Kayum says Nadi is regarded as Fiji's gateway and such a project is vital for the economy. The minister also says Nadi should be declared a city because of its fast developing urban center.
What we are trying to do in this particular instance is that to create an economic base around those rivers. We do not have in any of those rivers any, for example, boat rides where you have dinner by candlelight up the rivers. You go to most major cities in the world, you'll have that. It's an economic activity. And Fiji is a tourism country. 38% of our GDP depends on tourism. So the idea is to have more ancillary services available. Rivers are a perfect example as to how we can make use of the systems to create economic activity.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie Johnson now with the latest from sports.
Nakakuroi and good evening. In sports tonight, boxers ready for Olympic qualifiers. And RAVOUVOU Rabbitohs bank on experience. This and more coming up.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
'16 Olympian Winston Hill and Pacific Games medalist Ndavule are ready to represent Fiji at the Olympic boxing qualifiers in Jordan next week. The two have been training vigorously for 8 weeks with coach Pauliasi Ratu and are ready to achieve the goals set out for them. Venina Rakautonga with this report.
After a rigorous training season, Hill and Ndavule are confident of giving their best at the Olympic qualifiers next week.
Yes, we've definitely come far from week one of training, and it's all planned for 8 weeks with physical conditioning, mental conditioning as well, and performance that's really shown during sparring. So we feel good, we're performing well, and can't wait to get into competition.
Head coach Pauliasi Ratu is hopeful the pair will have a successful outing amongst other Oceania countries that will be present at the qualifiers.
Yes, I can say that because we've been preparing for, I think, about a month now. We know that we were supposed to go to Wuhan, and after that outbreak, then they shifted to Jordan. So it gives us more time to prepare ourselves. So that's why I can say we are well prepared now.
Hill and Ndavule will be leaving our shores early next week for their first Asia-Oceania Olympic qualifiers in Amman, Jordan. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
When Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder faced off at a pre-fight news conference in Los Angeles in 2018, things boiled over, resulting in an on-stage melee. And it was nothing short of entertainment when the pair came face-to-face again, this time ahead of their rematch on Sunday. Don't forget you can watch the fight live on the FBC Sports channel via the Walesi digital platform on Sunday starting at 2 p.m. The RAVOUVOU Rabbitohs preparations have been boosted as 5 players from the Kaiviti Silktails have joined the side ahead of their clash with the Lacenax Tigers. With a few more days remaining for the Melanesian Cup Championship, former Fiji Mbati and current RAVOUVOU Rabbitohs player Tikiko Noke believes the side has a good chance of creating history in Lautoka. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
Training sessions for the Rabbitohs have stepped up as only 8 days remain for their match against PNG side Lacenax Tigers, and the team believe they're heading in the right direction.
The bond that we share when we came in, everyone had one goal and one mindset, and that was to create history and be the first Fiji team to win the Melanesian Cup. And I believe the boys are really going to the right direction.
The side was also visited by Fiji Mbati head coach Brendan Costin earlier this week, as they were reminded that they're also representing the country.
The Snakes Tigers are not an easy team, that is correct. They won't be, they're a team they are not to be taken lightly of. They're a team that play full 80 minutes, and we're expected to counter what they are going to put on the table.
But for now, the side is just focused on their preparations, as they want to ensure they create history.
This is the fourth year. The Middle Season Cup has been running, and I think there's none of the Fiji team that won the Middle Season Cup, and this is our chance for us to participate and to win this Middle Season Cup for the first time.
The RAVOUVOU Rabbitohs will take on the Lace Next Tigers next Saturday at Churchill Park. Philip and Ikaso, FBC Sports.
Former Lilin Memorial School student Joe RAVOUVOU is back for the New Zealand Sevens side. RAVOUVOU has been named by coach Clark Laidlaw for the Los Angeles and Vancouver Sevens. RAVOUVOU, Aquila Rokolisoa and Amanaki Nicole are the three players with links to Fiji in the side. The Lambasa and Ba women's football teams will pit their wits against each other at the Inter-District Championship this season for top honours and bragging rights. After being placed in the same pool, the rivals anticipate nothing less than a tough road to finish on top. Tale Materakula has more.
Lambasa football is determined they will retain their title this season.
Lambasa is we were champions last year. We have been preparing ourselves for long now. Even though we lost in the CVC, we can still come back in the IDC, and we are hoping to be the finalist in the IDC.
Sonia Alfred says being in the same pool with Ba has encouraged them to play to the best of their ability.
We've been training now for a month, and we hope that we get to win our pool, even though we're in with Ba, but we'll still try our best and be in the final.
Ba centre-back Harriet Reilala is hopeful last year's loss to Lambasa will not be repeated.
We lost from Lambasa last year during the IDC, and we won the 2019 National League, and so the girls are, well, they are ready to bounce back from their loss and take back the trophy this year.
The women's IDC group stages will be played from the 28th of this month to March 1st at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Tali Materkula, FBC Sports.
Ballentine Memorial School has only one goal in mind, and that's to take back the SUVA Zone 1 girls title. After finishing third in the competition last year, sports coordinator Mbereta Langere says they've made it their mission to finish with top honors. Langere says they've been putting in the work and are pleased with the results produced by some athletes.
Preparing from week 1 of this term. We've been preparing them not only in houses but in events as well. That was one of our strategies. Because we would like to regain the girls' title. We had come third last year, and we are working really hard to get that title back.
The Fiji Motorsports Association is expecting more female participation at the Pacific Energy quarter-mile drag race on Sunday. The first race of the season has attracted a good number of registrations from female drivers already. Association President Razel Hanif says the growing interest is great, and they're hoping more women sign up.
There's a lot of interest out there from the ladies. We had about 5 female drivers that took part in last year's events, and this year there's more inquiries from the female drivers. So we're hoping to see more female race car drivers taking part in this season.
In today's Play of the Day, Club Brugge striker Manuel Dennis's goal against Manchester United in their Europa League round of 32 match in Belgium. That's it from Sports Tonight. In new media, a look at the pressure of having colleagues follow you on social media. Details after the break.
My name is Neha and I'm from Karavi, and Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In new media tonight, it is common for co-workers to become friends on social media. But is it okay for your co-workers to follow you on social media? Apanisa joins us now with the latest from weather.
Well, there were some showers of the eastern part and interior of the larger islands. Apart from that, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. Looking at the west, patchy clouds, sunny with humid conditions. Eastwards from Pekaba to SUVA, mostly sunny and delightful, increasing amounts of clouds with a passing late shower. Up north, sunshine and patchy clouds, a chance of slight drizzle late in the evening. And at sea, moderate to fresh southeast winds, moderate to rough seas. Now for the tides, the next low tide is at 11:49 tonight, followed by high tide at 6:05 tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at 6:02. And for tomorrow, fine apart from afternoon and evening showers. Tomorrow's temps but remain the hottest on 33 degrees. Looking further on to Sunday, expect much of the same condition. And that's the weather, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Apanisa. In Fiji and Pulse, we asked, should Fiji women rugby players be given more international exposure?
I believe they should be given the opportunity to go and play overseas so that it will benefit the national team.
Yes, I think they're doing well, so they should be given a chance to go and play overseas.
I think that's a good initiative from the Fiji Rugby Union for sending our girls overseas so they can sign contracts in order to gain them experience and implement it back home for the local players.
I think it's a good initiative so that our local girls are exposed to international tournaments.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, porn viewing debate heats up in Parliament. Government says opposition has issues and Water Authority unsure when water will return to normal. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question, we're asking, should politicians who spread fake news be prosecuted? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, a gorgeous rainbow across Savu Bay taken by Jeff Karoy. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, by Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.